Okay, all right. Welcome to my channel. My name is Jude. I'm an immigrant in Canada. I talk about living and thriving in Canada, and I also share content on mindset shifting. Okay, we're in the 21st century, and we are in a post-COVID era where new ways of thinking is required to solve the current problems that are emerging. So, if you are new in Canada, or you are been in Canada for a while, you will know that being an immigrant in Canada requires a different kind of an individual from from whom the person is back from the person's country. For example, if you are, this is what I'm trying to say. You cannot afford to think the same way you've been thinking, okay, back at home while you are in Canada. So I do hear of people who now complain of after relocation to Canada and then find it difficult to cope with Canada. Yeah, I want to tell you something. It is it is pretty challenging to think the same way. Okay, it is difficult to thrive in Canada by thinking the same way and not really adjust to the culture, okay, in Canada. It's just that somebody gave relocation illustration as uprooting a grown plant from somewhere and replanting it into another place. It is very it's going to be very difficult to for the plant to continue growing as much as it was, okay, in the former area now when it has been replanted into a new location. Okay, it's easier to grow a plant, okay, when it's still young. Farmers transplant seedlings. Farmers don't transplant trees. When you are coming to Canada from your country where you have spent virtually uh 20, 30, 40 years of your life, 50 years of your life, okay, and you're coming to a Canada where you practically have no experience before, you should understand what you are going to meet. It's not going to be a rose in the park. So this my video is going to talk about how important it is to shift your mindset from where you are to where you are currently. Okay, so I pretty understand that quite a lot of people are finding it difficult to get jobs. Quite a number of people are finding it difficult, okay, to get what they want, to the life they want. I want to tell you something. If you are having financial challenges currently in Canada as an immigrant, either as a result of the plans you have put in place not working out, or as a result of an unfortunate circumstance, I want to tell you that you shouldn't give up. You shouldn't uh, crucify yourself. What you need now is to strategize how to get the problem solved. Okay, for you being able to relocate to Canada, I give you a thumb up for it. Many people have not been able to achieve that goal. That is a wonderful goal. That is a beautiful goal. Okay, you are, I think, more you have achieved more than at least close to maybe 40 or 50% of what somebody wants to achieve by just relocating. Relocating takes hard work, takes funds, take planning, takes a lot of things. Okay, but now the whole picture, the whole project is not complete yet. So probably the number one mistake you might be making is to thinking that once you relocate, every other problem is solved. That is the number one mistake. Okay, number two mistake is probably you think that you have a family member or a friend or people that will come to your rescue in case things don't work in, on in Canada trains people to be self-reliant, to be independent. Okay, you are required to get to solve problems on your own without any support. So the first, those are the two mindsets I really want to talk about today. thinking that relocating to Canada will solve all your problem without you having to invest in yourself, invest in knowledge, invest in skills, okay, invest in networking and all those. And the second mindset I want to think is that you have people to help you, to support you to get things done. So now let's look at it. Do you know the number of immigrants that have come to Canada after COVID? Okay. Now, you have watched many videos before you came to Canada telling you how beautiful Canada is, how there are many job opportunities, the casual jobs. Probably you were told that there are a lot of casual jobs that you can get started, okay, while you are looking for the main job, okay. And then you came to Canada, you are even finding it hard to get those casual jobs, okay. What I'm telling you is that the YouTubers that told you those things were correct at the point at which they posted those videos. So if you watch a YouTube video of how what you should expect in Canada, okay, made if those YouTube videos were made in 2020, 2021, 2022, okay, those information are current, okay. But now this is 2024. What we have, or the current situation we have in Canada, is far from the reality. It's far different from what you watched in YouTube video 2 or 3 years ago. I want to tell you that the number of immigrants that have come into Canada between then and now is massive. I was looking at the statistics of the number of students that colleges in Canada enrolled, okay, in a space of 1 year, okay. It was massive. It was massive. It was massive. So now I want to tell you that the Canada you thought you knew before you came is not it's not actually the same as the Canada of reality that is on ground, that is in reality. It's unfortunate that is when you got to Canada, you landed, that you discovered the reality of what Canada is. Now you have landed, you have seen the reality of Canada. What should you do? Start regretting that you came to Canada, okay? Or start looking of how to go to US or migrate to another place? No. Now you now realize that moving from one country is not the solution, because you have moved to Canada. Now you are faced with a big challenge. The grass is not always greener on the other side. So what should you now do now? You should sit down and get to thinking. You already have the ability to solve problem. In fact, you have able to solve the problem of relocating to Canada. Many people are still stuck on how to relocate to Canada. So if you are able to relocate to Canada, okay, either alone or with your family, that means you are better than average people. Okay, you wrote exam, maybe you wrote IELTS, you wrote some exam, everything, you are able to qualify and came to Canada. I want to tell you that you've got stuffs. So I want to tell you that you have the ability even to solve the current problem that you are now facing in Canada. Think about what it took you to relocate to Canada. How did you do it? Reflect on your success relocating to Canada. Take inspiration from it. How are you going to solve this? You're already a problem solver, and I believe you can also solve this current problem. I believe you can also get yourself established in Canada. So, number one solution that you can begin to look at now is changing your mindset that Canada is not what they told you it was. It is. It used to be, but it has changed. What do? Strategize. Sit down, either with yourself and your friend, or you yourself, if you have a wife or you have an husband, both of you sit down and think. Okay? Canada is for thinkers. Canada is for proactive people. Canada is for people who believe that the solution to their problem is in their hands, not in the hand of the government. Okay, we used to depend on the government where we came from. Okay, and of course, government play a critical role in our life, no doubt. But Canada wants to train you. Canada is a land of opportunities that you yourself will have to go after. Okay, so like I said, you came to Canada, you are better off than 40 or 50% of people who could not come to Canada. That means you have some skills, you have ability, you have the ability to scale mountains. Now, accept the current challenge in Canada as a mountain requiring you to scale to your next level. Get knowledge, network. The areas that you're having problem is the area you have least knowledge of. You've got to admit it that you have least knowledge in this area and go after people that have knowledge, and don't be discriminatory. Okay, don't be associated with a particular skin color alone. In Canada, we have diverse people. We have brown people, white people, black people, red people, different people from all walks of life, having different skills and potential and abilities, areas in which they have excelled. Okay, find people that have excelled in the areas you are having challenge and pay them, if necessary, to pick their brain. Okay, that is the number one recommendation I will have for you if you are struggling in Canada and you seem that you have about regretting coming to Canada. I want to tell you, don't, it's not a regret coming to Canada. Number one thing is that seek knowledge, seek expert opinion, seek expert advice, okay, on what next to do. Don't keep quiet. Okay, okay. And number two is to have a change in mindset that this is a problem that you can solve. There's a solution somewhere. Approach the current challenge you have in Canada as there's a solution somewhere, and I must find the solution, and I will not rest until the solution. There's a way you approach a problem when you think there is no solution, and there's a way you approach that same problem when you know there's a solution somewhere. So number two solutions, approach that problem that there is a solution somewhere, and then it relates to the first one: seek expert advice, read books, wherever the information is. Okay, go for it, go for it. So I don't want this video to be longer than this, and I wish to say more things, but I don't want this video to be longer. My name is Jide. I live in Guelph, Canada. I share contents on mindset and living and traveling in Canada. If you like this video, please do share it and then subscribe to my channel. Till next time I come your way, do have a wonderful time. Bye bye.